Guys, we have some breaking news on SpaceX. We've also had a yellow topping candle from the SMC bar. You can see over here on the legend, yellow indicates potential downtrend. And we are now starting to make new lows in this downtrend. So let's get into it. We've got some breaking news about SpaceX, which I think is also going to affect the price. Lots to talk about, so we'll get straight into it. So if you watched my video, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, I said we don't really have much data on brand new stocks or brand new launches, but one thing that does still work are these yellow and green candles. And we had a yellow candle, and this is something that I was waiting for to potentially look for a top on SpaceX. And for now, it does seem like we have topped. And I am pretty sure we're not going to push back above $225 for reasons I'm going to get into this video. Of course, this is trading, this is investing, anything is possible, but I do think this was the top for SpaceX for a very, very long time. And I'm also going to give you my target where I think SpaceX is at least going to come down to and where I'm looking to take profit on this short position. So just for transparency, I am in a short position right now. So we had this yellow candle. We also had a sell signal flash around 187 from the SMC bot. Again, the sell signals, this is very new data. So, you know, there might be hit and miss, but the yellows and the greens is what I'm really looking for to try and find some of these positions. Maybe if I get a bright green candle, I might take a hedge long position. We'll see. But for now, the trend is your friend. And we had this yellow flash on the 16th, which was yesterday, right? So I took the trade. That position is currently in 141%. So I did get stopped out on my first trade, and hopefully this one doesn't get stopped out because I got pretty nice entry. I got in around that yellow hourly candle around 208, and you know, I don't think we're going to push back above these ranges. You know, we're down to 179 now. And I'm going to sit in this position and see how it plays out. But yeah, I do think it's going to potentially come down over time. This is a major one. And it's another reason I talked about this on my Twitter. So go and follow me if you're not following, by the way. Elon Musk SpaceX acquired coding startup Cursor for $60 billion. Now, they were originally trying to purchase Cursor for fiat with dollars. But they've now done the deal with $60 billion worth of SpaceX stock. Okay, so very, very important because every founder of Cursor is now officially a billionaire. And, you know, let's say you founded a company, it blew up, someone bought you out. You've just become a billionaire. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit and hope that your SpaceX stock continues to go up and doesn't crash over the next 2, 3, 4 years? Or are you going to take some profits off the table? And this is so much money in that stock that they're going to be allocated and able to sell, which I think is going to create so much sell pressure. And this is in August. Okay, so we have the first token unlocks happening in, I believe it's in August. Yeah, I think it's like August the 11th is the first token unlocks. And then we're going to have this sale of stock that goes over to the founders. And I would imagine they're going to take some profits. Maybe they won't sell everything. I mean, even if they sold half, it's still $30 billion worth of stock that is going to hit the market and potentially have some sell pressure and see the chart come down. Then you've also got people that know that that's going to happen in August. Okay, so then you've got bag holders that are up in a lot of profits. They just get their token unlocked for the first time. They're in huge profits. Some people are up 20x, some people are up 200x. And, you know, what are they going to do when they know Cursor are also about to get $60 billion worth of the SpaceX stock? We might see a front run before the actual stock is transferred. And then maybe we see some more sell pressure once those Cursor founders also continue to take some profits off the table. So huge deal, huge problem as well that we'll see in August. Kalshi posted, an analyst says SpaceX is overvalued by as much as 94%. Now, we talked about this in the video yesterday, so go and watch that if you haven't watched it already. But we talked about how they made a loss last year, and now they're, you know, being valued over Amazon. We knew it was ridiculous, right? Especially these missions to Mars and missions to the moon, and how much money is that going to return? So yeah. The analysts are saying it's overvalued by 94%. It's getting a lot of attention. And, you know, is it going to come down by 90%? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But I will say most IPOs do actually come down 60 to 70%. And this is where I've set my price target for potentially taking profit on SpaceX is around $70. That would be around 70% from the all-time high. Partly also because of the cursor deal, because a lot of the insiders are in huge profits, because we're also in an AI bubble right now. So we're seeing valuations that are absolutely insane. I would expect at least a 70% drawdown from all-time high. Doesn't have to happen this month, doesn't have to happen next month, doesn't even have to happen this year, right? But I think over time, we are going to see a slow bleed out. I think it will find a floor eventually, but I do think we are going to bleed out as people begin to take profits. And then we have the earnings reports to come out as well, which I think are going to be a shocker for a lot of people who are invested in SpaceX. I saw a lot of people talking about this, and yeah, it irritated me a little bit because I posted here on my Twitter, can someone tell me why people are comparing previous IPOs to SpaceX, saying they all pumped in time? I saw a lot of people saying, look what happened to the Tesla IPO, right? Do you really want to miss out on the next Tesla? SpaceX is the next Tesla. And Tesla absolutely moonshotted to the sky, right? Done 1,000x. Absolutely insane. People put just a few $1,000s in this, when it initially launched, and they made millions and millions of dollars just from a few $1,000s. So absolutely huge rally. And Amazon also, right? Amazon launched, IPO, went to the moon. Those who invested early made life-changing money. If you don't understand market caps, this can be very misleading, right? And it could be very dangerous too, because you might think, oh, I don't want to miss out on the next Amazon. I don't want to miss out on the next Tesla. The problem is they've launched SpaceX in this massive AI FOMO bubble. They've been very good at marketing. So many large institutions are marketing this like crazy. What a lot of people don't understand is that the SpaceX IPO launched at 1.7 trillion valuation, right? Elon Musk became the first trillionaire. It was listed as one of in the top 6 of largest companies in the world. Considering it made a loss last year, that was absolutely insane. Larger than Amazon, everything Amazon have built over all these years, all their customers, their subscription based. It was valued at larger than that, and it also had a very clever token release stages that are going to happen over time. There was very little liquidity on the market. That's why it potentially rallied so much. And if we look at Meta, the IPO was 104 billion. Okay, so we're looking at 1.7 trillion to Meta, which was 104 billion. Tesla IPO'd at 1.7 billion. Okay, so huge difference in the 1.7 trillion to the 1.7 billion. Microsoft IPO'd at 780 million. Amazon IPO'd at 438 million, which is why they went on to do the hundreds of X's, the thousands of X's, in some cases like Tesla did. Well, these done over 1,000x as well, right? So if SpaceX was to deliver the same 1,000x return that Tesla did, okay, it would be worth $1.77 quadrillion. For context, the entire world GDP is roughly around 120 to 130 trillion per year. Total global stock market is roughly 130 to 150 trillion. All the gold ever mined is worth around 25 to 30 trillion. Global real estate is estimated around 400 to 600 trillion. So a 1.77 quadrillion company would be worth several times more than all global real estate, every single property in the entire world, and over 10 times the entire global stock market. But sure, it could be the next Tesla. Look what happened in these previous IPOs. So yeah, I think it's absolutely ludicrous to even suggest that, look what happened to these previous IPOs, because the market caps are in another world. We're launching a mass FOMO. AI is all the talk of the town. And also Elon literally owns Twitter. He's literally owns a marketing platform that he's able to market to, which was a great purchase, by the way. I think it's a great purchase to market any businesses to. So yeah, I wouldn't get my hopes up. Just think about this, right? It reached, what did it reach? Almost $3 trillion. So I think Nvidia is the largest company in the world. Market cap is 5 trillion. So, just a 2x from that 3 trillion SpaceX has to be become the largest company in the world just to double your money. So if you put $1,000 in SpaceX and around all-time high, you would have had to. It would have had to become the largest company in the world for you to make $2,000, and that's without worrying about a correction, a drawdown, etc., etc. So for me personally, I would not touch SpaceX unless it comes down 60-70%. I don't have any FOMO. I don't feel like I'm going to miss out. I do think it is massively overvalued. It's one of the largest IPOs we've ever seen. We've got two more massive IPOs coming with OpenAI, Anthropic, that are also coming. There is going to be such a chase for liquidity. They're going to be competing for liquidity. I think it's going to have a massive drawdown, and I don't even know if I'll buy it when it does draw down. If it does draw down, I'll have to assess the situation at the time, because obviously we've got 60 billion in stock going to Cursor. How much more stock is going around? But yeah, absolutely insane valuation, and I'll see what happens, right? If it comes down 60-70% and I hit my take profit target on my short position, maybe I'll look at it. I'll look at the numbers. Obviously we've got to look at the revenue reports and the earnings reports and assess the situation at the time, see how the satellite business is going, Starlink, see how that's performing. I do think that's going to perform well. I think Elon said they had a target of $1 trillion in revenue by 2030, which is not even far away, and I just can't see that possibly happening. But hey, maybe the numbers are good. We'll see what happens. But yeah, please be careful, because we are naturally drawn to hope, and it can be a trap, right? The whole point of this IPO game in early investing is the institutions get in early. They buy early down here. They take some risk down here because they're buying in early, even though I don't think there's that much risk. If you're getting SpaceX early, you're getting Anthropic early, you're getting OpenAI at a discount, cheaper than IPO price or at IPO price. I personally don't think it's crazy risky, but hey, the institutions are taking some risk. They put very big money in here. If some institutions were putting $1 billion in at IPO, which they were, they almost, they made $500 million in a few days, right? And that's not a bad trade. If you're an institution and they say, how did you do? How much are you up on the SpaceX? We're up 500 million. We could sell it all and be very happy with that. Sell it all, get out, right? And that's why you see these aggressive drawdowns and profit taking when you come down into these downtrends here. So yeah. Personally, not for me. I don't have any FOMO for SpaceX, but if it's at a discount, then I'll buy it. We've done the same for Coinbase. Do you remember when we got the Coinbase IPO? Sorry, we didn't buy the Coinbase IPO. We waited for Coinbase to crash. And you see this yellow support line down here. We literally got in around $45, and the price at IPO it was in the 400s. It was like 426, and it came all the way down to $40. And it's hard to imagine it at the time, right? No one could pick, when it was sitting at 420, no one could imagine it being at $45. It came down like 90%. Over 90% from the all-time high, and a lot of people can't see that at the time, and they buy, they get sucked into the FOMO, sucked into all the news headlines. It comes down, early investors rug pull everyone, and the rest is history, right? And we ended up making a lot of money on this, right? We bought in down here. We had this green bottoming candle on the SMC bot. See this green bottoming candle down here indicating that the bottom might be in. And then we went on this absolutely crazy rally all the way back up to 443, where the IPO buyers were frothing at the mouth, right? So even those guys waited from 2021 all the way to 2025, so 4 years just to get break even. And the problem with that mentally is those people that held to get back break even, it's very hard to sell when you've sat in an asset for 4 years. You see it pumping, there's so much FOMO on socials. CZ says we're going into a super cycle. Brian Armstrong says we're long Bitcoin, and then it ends up being the actual top. And it's very hard to sell when you bought into the froth, and then you're trying to think, should I take profit in the froth? It sounds easy now. In hindsight, it's really not, especially if you get back to break even. You're still not made any money over 4 years. So for me, with these IPOs, it's all about time in the market. And we almost made 10x on this just by being patient, waiting for the drawdown, waiting for the sell pressure to end. And notice the sideways period here, right? So it wasn't like, oh, people feel like you're going to miss the dip, you're going to miss the dip. But normally what happens is you come into a downtrend of sell pressure and then you get this sideways period before it starts to rally to the upside, which can last many months, right? This was from June 22 all the way to July 23. So it was an entire year of finding a floor and being sideways. And then investors thought, everyone seems to be buying around 45. Doesn't seem like it wants to go any lower. I'm going to start to allocate. And then the allocation starts to get larger and larger and you go into another bull market, right? So kind of what I'm looking for on Tesla over the next 12 months. How long did it take to come down? So November 21, and then it found a bottom in July 22. So it came down very fast, right? It came down very, very fast. And maybe we see the same for SpaceX. Maybe it's 7 months to a year. We know the unlocks start in August. Obviously, they're selling the tokens to Cursor as well. So, August, maybe into December, January, February would be nice. So we can see where the price is there. I'd rather wait for that sell pressure to roll out and try and find some kind of a floor. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe the SMC bot prints a bright green bottoming candle. I mean, then that would be just happy days, nice and easy, right? Not only did it print a green candle, but we were looking for a bottom here because we just hovered here for month after month after month of sideways. Then we got the green, and then it just made it easy just to hold the bag, right? Because we knew we was also going into a new bull market, into a 4-year cycle. So yeah, no FOMO for me. Did you get the Nvidia IPO? I mean, guys, the market caps are just out of this world compared to where they are right now. Big up everyone who took the trade. If you were watching SpaceX and you saw that hourly yellow candle, these candles are fantastic, absolutely amazing for trying to find pivot points when you're looking for tops or when you're looking for bottoms. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. It's not really a deep one. I do want to start my AI channel. I've been putting it off for ages. I want to do an AI channel, and I'm also interested in robotics, so I might cover both. And I'm going to teach people how to make these kind of videos. I made this yesterday. It took me around 4 hours. It's a 3-minute long video. I'm going to play it for you guys so you can watch it. And it took me around 4 hours to make. And I just think this is the tip of the iceberg, right? This is very early, very, very early technology. And I want to teach you guys how to use it because I think there's a lot of money to be made here and I don't have the time to do it myself. If you do, I tell you what, if you're a big project or maybe you want a video like this yourself, maybe I'll do it on a weekend or something. If you hit me up on Twitter and you say, look, I really like the video, I want to do something like this for my project, or maybe for your own personal brand, you want to do something, hit me up and I can make the video for you, no problem. But I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. I'm also going to talk about robotics because I think that's going to be an absolutely insane market. And I think we're very early. We're literally in the first year of this starting to manifest itself and companies starting to realize, wow, these humanoid robots are actually pretty good. You'll see more on the channel when I start it. I might even start it this week. You'll see more on the channel about what's going on because I'm also watching China's robotics and they're moving so fast. It's insane. They literally have factories full of robots that have replaced humans and are working so fast 24/7 around the clock. So it's a fascinating industry. I'm literally going to be putting in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars into it over the next 2 years, 3 years as a long-term investment, just like people were buying electric cars back in the day and buying AI and getting into Tesla and stuff. I kind of want to do that same thing with robotics. I don't just want to put some money in now like a 0.5 or 1%. I want to really accumulate all of the top robotics companies for years and just be patient. Like this was 1 year, 2 year, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 before we started to see it go parabolic, right? So maybe robotics doesn't take that long, but this is the kind of investment I'm looking for with robotics because I think it's going to just scale over the next 10, 15 years. And I want to really accumulate, not just a small percent. I really want to go heavy into different companies. So yeah, let me play the video. Tell me what you think. Also, what are you doing on SpaceX? Are you shorting? Are you longing? Are you buying the dip? Do you think it's going to go back up to make a new high? What else do you want me to make videos on? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to join us, guys, and you want to get the SMC bot in your own trading view, so if you want to get this bot that gives buy and sell signals and prints these yellow topping candles, it works in a free trading view, so you don't even need a paid trading view. You just literally click on the asset you want to look at and it will snap to grid. And yeah, if you want to join us, head over to my Twitter, search the bottom one, not the top one, is slightly different. Click this link here. That will take you to a page where you can join the Patreon, and then you can get in the Discord and you can see what I'm doing, what trades I'm taking, what stocks I'm buying, when I'm selling. I never buy and sell any assets without posting in my group straight after, right? So as soon as I buy a stock, as soon as I sell a stock, I post it in sell alerts. So you guys can see exactly what I'm doing in real time. And I'm also in here chatting. My VIP section, obviously I try to chat to every single person and get back to their questions and do deep dives on any research they want done. But I'm also in the recruit section chatting with the guys every day as well. We're looking at trades, looking at options, looking at the latest news and stuff like that. So yeah, none of the information in this video is financial advice. Do your own research. Investing in crypto, investing in anything is highly risky. You can lose all of your money investing in anything. So always do your own research first. I am not a financial advisor. Let's play the video. Let me know what you think. I tell you one thing before I play this. I'm an audio engineer by trade, so what I could have done is added my own voice over the parts instead of, I could have just literally taken out the audio, replaced it with my own voice. I didn't do that because it takes a lot of time and I'm a very busy person, tracking the markets, tracking the smart money on chain. I didn't do that. I could do that, and you can also do it with AI. I can create my own voice and AI can do it. Maybe I will do that eventually. It gets very techy. It takes a lot of time. Maybe it will be easier. I think in time we'll see these platforms actually enable you to upload your own voice, so it just reads your voice. That would save so much time. I'm sure they're going to do it eventually because 11 Labs can already do that pretty much. So yeah, let's play it. Let me know what you guys think.
Boss, activity detected. Winter mute just arrived. They're moving.
Start building the Ethereum allocation.
Fastenera activity confirmed. Galaxy is preparing a move. Tracker installed. We've got confirmation. Eyes on target.
Execute the Bitcoin position.
There it is.
We've got the signal.